Hello and welcome to Sudoku Pro. This is a 4-star puzzle from today's Hindu. Let's get started. There is 2 and 4 blocking these 3 cells in G row. So G1 and G3 will take 2, 4 pair. In G row, there are only 3 missing numbers. The numbers are 5, 8 and 9. There is a 5 and 9 here in the 5th column. So G5 takes 8. Now the remaining numbers are 5 and 9. There is a 9 blocking here in 6th column. So G6 takes 5 and G4 takes 9. There is a 7 in the 6th column which blocks this cell. There is a 7 in the 4th column which blocks these 2 cells. So I5 takes 7. There is a 8 in column 1 which blocks these 2 cells. There is a 8 in column 2 which blocks these 2 cells. So H3 takes 8. This 8 and this 2 both blocks these 3 cells. So in I row, these 2 cells will take 2 and 8. Now there is a 2 in column 8 which blocks this cell. So I7 takes 2 and I8 takes 8. This 7 blocks these 2 cells of column 8 and this 7 blocks this cell in column 8. So this is the only cell in column 8 that can take 7. Now in column 7 there are only 3 empty cells and the missing numbers are 4, 5 and 9. Here 4 and 5 are blocking this cell, so E8 takes 9 and the rest of the 2 cells take 4, 5 pair. So in H row, in the 9th block there are only 2 empty cells left and the missing numbers are 5 and 9. So let it take 5, 9 pair. Now there is a 4 in E row which is blocking these 2 cells. 4 in F row which is blocking these 2 cells and a 4 in E row which is blocking these 2 cells. There is a 4 in column 9 which blocks this cell. So D7 takes 4. Now there is a 4 here which blocks C6. This 4 blocks C7. This 4 blocks C9 and there is a 4 here which blocks C4. So C5 is the only place where 4 can be. There is a 3 in row D which blocks this cell. There is a 3 in row A which blocks this cell. So in column 5, this is the only cell, that is F5 is the only cell where 3 can be. So column 5 has only 2 empty cells left and the missing numbers are 1 and 6. So let them take 1, 6 pair. There is a 5, 7 blocking these 3 cells. There is a 5 and a 7 in column 3 which is blocking these 3 cells. So D1 and F1 takes 5, 7 pair. There is a 9 which is blocking this cell. There is a 9 here which blocks these 3 cells. So F3 takes 9. There is a 3 and 6 which is blocking these 2 cells. So in column 3, these are the 2 cells which can take 3 and 6. There is a 3 blocking here in the D row. So D3 takes 6 and E3 takes 3. Now in the 4th block the missing numbers are 1 and 2. In row E, only 2 empty cells are left and the missing numbers are 6 and 8. So there is a 7 and 2 in this block which blocks 7 and 2 in these 3 cells. So in column 9, only these are the 2 cells where 7 and 2 can be. So D9 takes 2, 7 and F9 takes 2, 7. Now in the 6th block the only missing number is 5. this 9 in the B row blocks these 3 cells. There is a 9 in column 3 which blocks these 2 cells. So A2 takes 9. There is a 5 in column 3 which blocks these 2 cells. The 5 in this 5-7 pair blocks this cell. So B2 takes 5. There is a 2 which blocks this row H, and there is a 2 in row I which blocks this cell. So E2 takes 2. So this 2 cancels out the 2 here, and E1 becomes 1. Now in column 2 there are only 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 1 and 3. The 9 in the 5-9 pair blocks this cell, so I1 takes 9, and the only missing number in this block is 6. This 6 blocks these 2 cells, so in the central block F6 takes 6. Now that cancels out the 6 here. This becomes 1, that is D5 becomes 1, and the only missing number is 2 now, so D4 takes 2. Now this 2 cancels out the 2 here, so D9 becomes 7 and F9 becomes 2. Similarly, this 5 here cancels out the 5 in H7, so H7 becomes 9 and H9 becomes 5. And the 5 here cancels out the 5 here in F1, so F1 becomes 7 and D1 becomes 5. There is a 5 in B row which cancels out the 5 here in B8. So B8 becomes 4 now, and A8 becomes 5. There is a 9 in A row which blocks this cell. There is a 9 in B row which blocks these 2 cells. There is a 9 in column 7 which blocks these 2 cells. So C9 takes 9. There is this 5 blocking these 2 cells, and this 5 blocking this cell. There is a 5 here in column 6 which blocks this cell, so C4 takes 5. Now in row C there are only 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 1 and 3. There is a 3 blocking here in column 7, so C6 takes 3. C7 takes 1. This 1 cancels out the 1 here in A5. A5 becomes 6 now. There is a 3 in row A which blocks this cell. There is a 3 in column 7 which blocks this cell. So B9 takes 3. Now in the third block there are only 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 6 and 8. There is a 6 blocking here, so A9 takes 8 and B7 takes 6. In the first block there are 3 empty cells and the missing numbers are 1, 2 and 4. There is a 4 here in B row which blocks these 2 cells, so A3 takes 4. The missing numbers are 1 and 2. There is a 1 in column 1 which is blocking this cell, so B1 takes 2 and B3 takes 1. The only missing number in row B is 8. Now in the second block there are only 2 empty cells left and the missing numbers are 1 and 2. There is a 2 in column 4 which is blocking this cell, so A4 takes 1 and A6 takes 2. The only missing number in column 6 is 1. So this 1 cancels out the 1 here in I2. So I2 becomes 3 and H2 becomes 1. Now in column 4 the missing numbers are 3 and 6. So this 3 in I2 cancels out the 3 here. So I4 takes 6 and H4 takes 3. There is a 4 in column 3 which cancels out the 4 here. So G3 becomes 2 and G1 becomes 4. There is a 6 in column 7 which cancels out the 6 here. So E7 becomes 8 and E9 becomes 6.